Their grandfather once crashed an auto show by driving through a plate glass window on purpose. Their father was the most awarded SUV ever. And their crazy uncle raced sports cars and won. And while the blood of their relatives still runs true, none of them can do what these can. Introducing the next generation of Jeep Grand Cherokee. Available in 2-row, 3-row, and 4xe. The legacy lives on.
안녕하십니까. Stellantis Korea 사전계약입니다. First, I would like to express my gratitude to our VIPs and our customers for being with us on such a special occasion, where we celebrate Jeep's newest addition to one of the best and grandest product portfolios in the Korean market. I would like to take a moment to thank all of you who have patiently waited for today's launch. Our pre-order customers, our owners, our fans, and also those who have attended from the U.S. Embassy for making this event even more special. We are very blessed to have you here during this time of the year. Looking back, a lot of great things happened with Jeep this year. Customer experiential programs like Jeep Wild Trail and Camp Jeep drew huge amounts of response from our customers, and Camp Jeep applications closed in just 10 minutes. After hosting several of these events, I feel the passion of our Jeep customers as they further embrace Jeep's passion, daring, and adventurous spirit. A common problem in the auto industry this year has been inventory and product challenges. To lessen this, we have taken the initiative in resolving delays, thanks to accurate and strategic inventory management, which has enabled us to offer immediate delivery, saving our customers valuable time and money. We have also launched several new cars that we promised to customers since the beginning of the year. We introduced new models like the new Compass, a facelift model which had returned to Korea after a 4-year break. Also the Renegade, with its downsized 1.3-liter engine to actively engage with the MZ generation and women. And through our active engagement, customer satisfaction with the Jeep brand is consistently improving. Today, we are here to keep another promise, the grand finale of 2022. It's not an exaggeration to say that the new cars you will see today are Jeep's grandest models. These stars are the all-new Grand Cherokee and the all-new Grand Cherokee 4xe. The all-new Grand Cherokee is the brand's luxury flagship SUV that inherits the origin of SUVs, Jeep's 81 years of history and legacy. I'm sure you have already seen it as you pass through the Legacy Tunnel at the entrance, but Grand Cherokee has been setting new standards for luxury SUVs since the moment it crashed through the glass of Cobo Hall during the 1992 North American International Auto Show in Detroit. Now the Grand Cherokee has expanded its domain and is currently well known in the Korean market through the brand's first all-new 3-row Grand Cherokee L. The ample space of the 3rd row, premium interior design, and 110 convenience and safety features are meeting the high needs of our Korean customers. In line with being the most awarded SUV ever, recording more than 700 awards and counting, it was well received in Korea, and it was named the 2021 Value Car of the Year by selected well-known Korean media. Now, we're adding the 2-row, all-new Grand Cherokee, which brings luxury to another level. And the electrified model, the all-new Grand Cherokee 4xe, delivers a completely new value to the market, and it completes the grandest lineup of Jeeps. We are confident that the two models we are introducing today will lead the market as each of them delivers a value for customers in the very hot Korean luxury SUV market. The two-row, all-new Grand Cherokee has been continuously evolving while protecting the brand's core legacy. Just like the key message, "Legacy evolved," the Grand Cherokee will offer new options for customers with a new level of luxury. It's packed with Jeep's incomparable heritage, including the most luxurious exterior of all time, and interior that is the pinnacle of tech, marrying beauty, and there's more on that to come. Quadrilift air suspension, and Jeep's legendary 4x4 system, which provides reliable driving in any given situation, and much more. So without further ado, I now present to you the all-new Grand Cherokee.
How about that? Good evening, everyone, our customers, our true VIPs. It's an absolute pleasure and honor to be here with you tonight. Spending time with you is the most important thing that I do. And I am truly grateful for this opportunity to be here with you. And wow, look at this gorgeous new Jeep Grand Cherokee. Now, by way of introduction, my name is Billy Hayes. I'm responsible for Stellantis performance in the India and Asia Pacific region in 25 countries across 12 Stellantis brands. And while I love all the brands, out of the 12, Jeep, for me, holds the most special place, as I'm sure it does for you as well. You know, as I was here for the launch of the new Compass last summer, I'm honored to be back in Korea for the launch of Jeep's greatest luxury SUVs so far, the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee 2-row, the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe, and of course, completing the lineup, the already introduced Grand Cherokee L. Now, I'm based right here in this region in Tokyo, but listening to my accent, I'm sure you can tell that I'm also an American. And Jeep has been a part of my life long before I started working at Jeep or Stellantis. My first childhood car memory is of my grandfather's Wagoneer SJ. I can still smell the smell of his pipe that he smoked every time I see an antique SJ on the road. My family has owned Jeeps over many years, and even now, my family, and I travel to many different places with our Jeep. And Jeep always takes us to our destination safely and in style, to places where we spend time together happily, to build beautiful memories with family and friends. Now, in May of this year, as a part of the Grand Cherokee launch in Australia, we went on the brutal Canberra Fire Trails, driving hardcore off-road trails in Grand Cherokees for over 10 hours. Now, participating in Canberra's challenging off-road courses was very hands-on, literally at times rolling big, loose rocks off of the trail so we could pass. But once again, I could see with my own eyes Grand Cherokee's superior off-roading capabilities. Now, I understand that many of you have had such similar experiences in a Jeep. In Korea, we hosted Jeep Wild Trails and Jeep Camp back in September and October, which are the off-road experiences that only Jeep can offer. No doubt you are all able to fully enjoy hammering through rugged mountain terrain with Jeep Wrangler and Gladiator. And I was delighted to hear that many of you came with your families and truly immersed yourselves in the Jeep culture, because the Jeep family is a global community. Uriga namiga. We are all in the same family. Our family is made up of people who live by 4 core values: freedom, authenticity, passion, and adventure. And these values infuse the way we embrace our Jeeps, right? And the way that we live our lives. Now, through the off-road trails, you must have seen for yourself the Wrangler 4xE's extraordinary capabilities, which is the first PHEV from Jeep. 4xE is our electrified solution that has fortified Jeep's legendary 4x4 functionality, but in a more sustainable way. What's more, at the Global Jeep 4xE Day event in September, we introduced the all-new Jeep Avenger, which is the brand's first pure electric SUV. Additionally, we introduced 2 other fully electrified SUVs from Jeep, the Recon and the Wagoneer S. And I have to tell you, I am happily anticipating the day when I have the chance to introduce these 3 electrified Jeeps to you all, with many more to come. And when the day comes, and it will be soon, we believe and we know that these EV SUVs we introduce can bring true zero-emission freedom to you and your families into the future. As you can see, Jeep is moving forward zero-emission freedom. And as we say, 4xE is the new 4x4. 4xE is the new 4x4. So right now, right here, I am very excited to take the next step towards Jeep's vision by introducing the all-new Grand Cherokee 4xE to you. The all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE, now this is the model, boasting dynamic ride quality on-road, legendary 4x4 performance off-road, and with the option of driving on pure electricity. In electric mode alone, 33 kilometers of range is possible for 4xE. So this is ideal for most of your commutes, especially if you don't want to burn any gas and run 100% electric. Now, the all-new Grand Cherokee 4xE is also perfectly capable of handling a variety of outdoor activities. Its sheer size and cabin space is highly versatile. And today, we have probably, maybe undisputably, the best automotive designer in the world, Chris Benjamin, with us. I mean, how awesome is this to be able to see the designer of the vehicles that you drive? He's here today with us today. So he'll be talking about the interior, the exterior, and the versatility of the cabin space. Now, on the road, the Grand Cherokee 4xE has a smooth, quiet ride. Off-road, It's energetic and confident. And at the same time, it's silent. So you can just enjoy the sounds of nature while you're driving. Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE offers you the ultimate freedom. And through 4xE's advanced electrification technologies, you and your family can escape life's daily hassles and explore freedom and adventure that only Jeep offers by taking you to a quieter and cleaner nature spot. Now with Grand Cherokee L, the all-new Grand Cherokee 2-row, and Grand Cherokee 4xE being added, we now offer class-leading options for premium and luxury large SUV buyers. Now, the Grand Cherokee was first introduced in the Korean market back in 1995, and I think you probably went through the tunnel coming in here, and you saw the first generation and now the 5th generation introduced here today. And it's been loved by Korean customers like you and awarded by the media. And after all, the Grand Cherokee is the longest standing SUV in the segment here. And our gorgeous new design really deserves a fitting introduction. Hence, we have collaborated with a renowned LED media art director, Jung Bong-chae, for the unveiling video. And let me tell you, it is a visual masterpiece and you will love it. So, I present to you combining Jeep's unrivaled legacy and the most advanced electrification technologies, the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for your loyalty and for your love of Jeep. And I am very, very happy to be in the same family together. Again, 우리가 남이가. 감사합니다.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Benjamin. I am the Vice President of Interior Design for Jeep, Wagoneer, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram. And I'm excited to be here with all of you tonight, our customers, because you are why we do what we do. And it's a special honor for me to lead such an amazing, talented design team, the most talented design team in the world, in my opinion. And it's so much fun what we do. The level of dedication and passion that my team puts into all of these vehicles is what makes me get up and do what I do every single day. Little short thing about myself. So I was actually born in New York City, and when I was about 7 years old, I moved down to Miami. As a kid, I always was passionate about art, always passionate about drawing. My dad was a mechanic, and he worked on large concrete trucks. So he had a passion as well for, fixing things, for cars in general, for driving fast. And I think that's where I got that from. But also that's where I got my passion for cars. And there was always this love affair that I had with doing both. But then as a kid, growing up in the 80s, it was also, those classic shows like, the Dukes of Hazzard and, Smokey and the Bandit, Knight Rider, where you have these classic, police chases, cars jumping ramps, stuff like that. I loved all of that stuff. And that translated into, some of the artwork that I created as a kid too. I think I did this one when I was 8 or 9 years old. What I also loved to do was collect cars, so small model cars, Matchbox and Hot Wheels cars, and actually I still collect them to this day. And the 3 that you see up on the screen now are the first 3 that I added to my collection when I was 8 years old, and I still have them today. So it's just a fun little history about myself. I went to college in Detroit at the College for Creative Studies, and the look you see on the screen now is the look that I had when I saw all of the car design stuff for the first time. Because growing up as a kid, I loved art, I loved cars, but I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know you could draw cars for a living. And so becoming a car designer was really the marriage of the 2 things I loved the most, cars and art. It was just meant to be. And then I was able to, upon graduation, work at some of the most prestigious companies in the world, Mercedes, BMW, and Volvo. And the best of them all, I joined Stellantis about 10 years ago, and it's been magic ever since. Now today we're here to talk about this beautiful Grand Cherokee 4xe. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what the design team put into it, all of the heart and soul and craftsmanship that went into the vehicle to make it something special for all of you. It starts with this idea of beauty and contrast. Beauty and contrast is used to take things that would be opposite, combine them in a harmonious way, and create something that's stunningly beautiful. But we didn't just want to do that, we also wanted to make sure that we stood out in a field that is full of SUVs. How do you do that, you may ask? Well, as a Jeep brand, we have some core values that are true to us and unique to us, and we wanted to make sure that we held true to those standards. The design team started out sketching our exterior colleagues, and you can see the energy and passion they put into the first sketches. Really, this is where it all starts, pen and paper. We do clay models, we do digital models, and that all gets translated. So when you get into the digital model, you can see the translation from those initial sketches, the energy, the passion, and then into the full production vehicle. A few of the cues that you will notice here are, the trapezoidal wheel arches, which are unique to Jeep. They are the first things that you'll notice when you see the side view of a Jeep. And if you see trapezoidal wheel arches on any other vehicle, they copied us. What you also notice is the very strong shoulder line that runs clean from end to end. And in this image, the floating black upper, which really adds sleekness and authenticity to the vehicle, but a sense of athleticism as well. If you get into more of the details, the front end, it has a bold shark nose grille, which is almost leaning forward, the beveled hood on top, which adds power to the front end, and that strong tracer element that comes off of that beveled upper and wraps around the tail lights and underneath the grille. Talking about the grille, there's nothing more to say. The 7-slot grille is an iconic Jeep feature. If it didn't say Jeep anywhere on this vehicle, you would know just by looking at the front end what it is. And the lower sculpted area is meant to further enhance the power and the stance in the front view. And you can see from the new 2-row that we're just launching in comparison to the 3-row, the Grand Cherokee L over there, we've taken a more sporty approach on the front end here to make it feel more athletic, more agile, both visually, but also that comes through in the driving dynamics on road because it is, in the end, a smaller vehicle. As I move to the rear, the other things that you notice are the strong statement, that rear black mask that houses the sleek taillights, and then again, the beautiful sculpted lower that adds, strength and determination to the rear end and really plants the vehicle on the road. And then you put that all together, the black upper, or even on this vehicle where you have the body color upper, that chrome element that separates it and dances across the DLO really creates this floating appearance to the upper. The large 21-inch wheels, the imposing stance of the vehicle in general, and then the sophisticated surface language throughout made to create a bold and timeless statement that only you could find in a Grand Cherokee. As you move from the exterior to the inside of the vehicle, there's so much that we put into the interior, and I always say from a design perspective that for you, for our customers, you can look at your car, you can admire it, you can wash it, but you live on the inside, and that's where you spend most of your time. So you can see the ample cargo room, the ample leg room in the vehicle. It really is made to provide comfort and convenience in so many ways. If you look back to the previous generation, the Grand Cherokee before this, the 4th generation, the design language was done in a way where you had these sort of islands of color, these highlights around the vents, highlight on the cluster, and you sort of had these elements dancing across the instrument panel, which was one clean surface. On the new design, we wanted to do something different. The first sketch that the designer who did the interior, Garrison, the first thing he did was this super clean line, because you can define the whole interior with just that. And we call it the metal wing. The metal wing stretches from end to end of the instrument panel, and as you see these lines come in that define the sleek vents, moving the lines into the doors, and then the artist brushstrokes coming in and defining the color, bringing the form in, you can see how it completes the picture and ties it all together. And as the full color comes in, you can see the beautiful integration of technology, the contrast of the modernity of the screens versus the warmth and the sculpture of the wrapped components, along with the beauty of the materials, the fit and the finish. And the black version you see in this next image really shows off the contrast in there. You have the beautiful screens moving across the instrument panel, a 10-inch cluster, a 10-inch center display, and even a 10-inch passenger display, which is a segment first. So 3 screens across the instrument panel, defined in a beautiful black glass sculpture, and that, of course, is floating above that metal wing that I mentioned earlier. This defines the cluster and the center display, and of course, as I mentioned, passenger display is another 10-inch. And then moving into all of these other views, you can see the stark contrast between the black interior and the warmth of that beautiful open-pore walnut wood. The definition in these views really brings out the space inside the interior, especially the way in this image that the console sweeps up into the instrument panel seamlessly and creates this sort of waterfall effect. The stacking of the elements on the instrument panel adds texture, beauty, and contrast by layering opposite elements right next to each other. The beautiful steering wheel as well. We moved completely away from what we used to do, where you had this wood piece on the top, and we've done something completely modern with a beautiful wooden sculpture on the bottom. The switches are framed by these double aluminum elements on the left and right side, and it really has the same features that you find in both the instrument panel and on the doors. And then looking into some of the other details, part of interior design is about delighting the senses. And you can do that in a variety of ways. I just talked about what you can visually see when you open the door and you look inside the vehicle. But what about what you feel? So this stirrup on a horse saddle has the beauty and contrast that we talked about. And you can feel that also on the instrument panel because you have these beautifully soft wrapped pieces, surrounding the screen. And then as that metal wing curls up on the outside, we proudly show the since 1941 on the end cap. And it's very subtle. It's not something that you would notice the first or fifth time that you're in the car. I mean, you guys will because I'm telling you about it. But it's something that we put in there out of pride and out of love for our history and for, where we're going in the future. And then talking about, the artists that put so much hard work into the vehicle, the artisanship that goes into it, the way this woodworker is carving this wood. The open pore walnut wood inside the vehicle has that same feeling. It's carved into an artistic shape. It actually curves up behind the screen. It isn't just a flat, cold, plastic-looking piece of material, but it is truly authentic open pore walnut wood, and it's treated in a super sculptural way. This image is one of my favorites. It looks like something you'd see in a sci-fi film, but actually it's an extreme close-up of the shifter, and it shows all of the painstaking detail that went into it. The shifter is something that you touch every single time you're in the vehicle, multiple times, and it's made of solid metal, and it's got this intricate knurled pattern in it. Here you can see an exploded view of it, and then on the next image you see how it's integrated into the console. It has soft backlighting in the center of it, and it's flanked on left and right by the select terrain and the ride height selector. And that's something that we chose to do because in a Jeep you want to be aware of the capability of the vehicle, and we thought showing it off right there in the center was the best way to do that. Moving on to some of the other elements, the electrified part of the 4xe, you can see the charge indication on the vehicle right here on top of the instrument panel, and it allows you to have a 360-degree view of the charging. So if you're between 80 and 100%, that last indicator light will be blinking to let you know from anywhere around the vehicle or in the vehicle what state of charge you're on. And then delighting the senses with the sense of sound. The beautiful integration of the Macintosh system. First of all, the sound is top-notch, second to none. But also, the visual sound that you see when you're looking at it and enjoying the music is something that we really put a lot of passion into. That partnership of two iconic American brands coming together to create something was truly something special. So seeing the power needles on the screen is an example of how we've integrated the system, but also in the speakers, the beautiful black glass and metal, how that's integrated, just like you find the black glass and metal on a Macintosh amp. Or all of the detail that we put on the speakers on top of the instrument panel. Those levels of detail, secondary and tertiary elements really coming together to create something special. Just like that tube amp that you see in the image from Macintosh, those intricate levels of detail is something that we were inspired by and we used to create the different works of art that you find in the audio system. Even in the rear, the subwoofer, we have the MC hidden in the vertical lines on the subwoofer, just like they have it on the heat sinks on the back of one of their amps. So all of those cool features that we as designers really enjoy, and we know that you as our customers would enjoy as well. And then you spend the most time when you're in the vehicle in the seat. So we wanted to make sure that not only did you see the comfort, but you could feel the comfort. So not only do we have the softest Palermo leather on the seats on the Summit Reserve, but the double diamond stitch, the accented color in the stitch versus the black, it really makes it feel upscale, a true luxury product. And then one of my favorite color combinations, the black and Tupelo. Tupelo is inspired from Tupelo honey, It's a very rich, very buttery, premium honey that we thought was fitting for the pinnacle of the Grand Cherokee and the Jeep lineup. And the butcher block that you see on the bottom right was the inspiration for the open pore walnut wood that you find throughout the cabin. You know, both of these things were inspired, and we thought of those things because inspiration comes from all over, you know, whether it be architecture, fashion, or food. You know, it's something that we as designers find in every aspect of our life, and we try to incorporate that into what we're doing. We didn't only think about the comfort or what you see in the daytime, we also thought about what do you see at night when the city lights go down and it's dark inside the cabin. So we've introduced beautiful ambient lighting that spills out from under that metal wing, underneath the metal going down the doors, and really brings this cool night atmosphere to the vehicle and really changes the feeling, the impression of the interior. And with 5 colors to choose from, you can decide what mood you're in that day and set the color to your desire. Now, going back and wrapping up the last image here goes back again to the 4th generation Grand Cherokee, and I just want to overlay the two to show you the difference. So as it fades to black and you see the interior of the all-new Grand Cherokee coming in, you can see how much faster the console is, how it sweeps up into the instrument panel, how the upper screen is laid over, and all of those things, you know, come together to create a beautifully luxurious and tailored cabin. We wanted to make sure that every time you open the door, every time you sit in the vehicle, every time you drive the vehicle, you can feel how special it is. And even in the all-black interior that you see here, you can still look at it and look at the contrast of the black to the open pore wood, and you can feel the warmth in there. And that's the one thing that we take special pride in, you know, as a design team at Jeep. It is all about the human touch that sets us apart, because we, as people, create these things, these products we love for you. And that's the thing that really makes us stand apart from everyone else, is our love that we show through our designs. And now, B.H. Kim will take you through a few more details of the vehicle and allow you to enjoy all of the details that there are. Thank you so much.
안녕하십니까. 오늘 그랜드 체로키와 그랜드 체로키 4x2의 소개를 진행할 스탈리티스 코리아의 김병입니다. 자, 오늘 소개해드릴 그랜드 체로키는 1993년 출시 이후 최상의 프리미엄 스타일을 갖춘 SUV로서 그 우수한 성능과 가치를 통해 약 700만 대 이상의 판매와 역사상 가장 많은 수상을 한 SUV입니다. 기존 L 모델에 더해 오늘 소개해드릴 그랜드 체로키 5인승 모델과 4x 모델이 추가됨에 따라 이제 명실상부한 지프를 대표하는 플래그십 모델로서 풀 라인업을 갖추고 집 브랜드 최상의 라인업으로 완성이 되었습니다. 이처럼 총 6가지의 트림으로 고객의 다양한 니즈를 충족할 수 있게 되었습니다. 5인승 모델은 뛰어난 디자인과 실용성을 그 특징으로 하며 오버랜드와 리미티드 2가지 팀으로 구성되고 4x 모델은 서밋 리저브와 리미티드로 구성됩니다. 이번 그랜드 체로키는 크게 5가지 매력적인 특징을 갖고 있는데요. 화면에 보이는 바와 같이 디자인, 프리미엄 상품성, 주행 퍼포먼스, PHEV 파워트레인과 오프로드 주행 성능을 갖추고 있습니다. 자, 지금부터 좀 더 상세히 살펴볼 텐데요. 앞서 크리스님께서 디자인에 대해 설명해 주셨기 때문에 이번 그랜드 체로키의 매력적인 디자인에 대해서는 스킵하도록 하겠습니다. 다만 차량의 수치는 전폭, 전고 각각 1930, 1790mm로 기존 그랜드 체로키 L과 동일합니다. 전장은 4900, 그리고 휠베이스는 2965mm로 짧아졌지만 L 모델보다는 좀 다른 컴팩트하고 개성 있는 디자인을 강조합니다. 컴팩트하지만 대형 SUV로서 매우 넓은 실내 공간은 여전히 확보하고 있습니다. 자, 다음은 뛰어난 상품성입니다. 그랜드 체로키에는 우수한 소재가 사용된 고급스러운 인테리어와 함께 혁신적인 사양 및 풍부한 안전 사양이 갖추고 있습니다. 프리미엄 SUV에 기대하는 요소를 완벽히 충족시키고 있는데요. 더불어 최적의 승차감과 함께 오프로드 주행 시에도 차고를 조정하며 뛰어난 오프로드 주파력을 제공하고 있습니다. 더불어 지프만이 갖고 있는 그 오프로드의 노하우가 축적된 쿼드라 드리프트 에어 서스펜션이 적용되어 어떠한 노면에서도 문제없는 주행을 선사합니다. 또한 극히 일부 플래그십 모델에서만 경험할 수 있는 나이트 비전 카메라가 적용되어 가로등이 없는 매우 어두운 조건에서도 물체를 감지하여 야간 주행의 안전성도 강화되었는데요. 더불어 SUV, 특히 대형 SUV의 운전을 부담스러워하는 고객님께서도 좀 더 안정감 있는 주행을 위해 360 서라운드 뷰 카메라도 적용이 됩니다. 자, 우리 지프의 특징적인 기능으로 무선 카플레이, 안드로이드 오토와 같은 다양한 멀티미디어가 제공되지만 그번 23년도 모델부터는 모뎀에 내장된 T-맵과 연동되는 U-Connect 5 시스템이 매우 특징적입니다. 또한 기존 그랜드 체로키 L에서도 소개해드린 바와 같이 미국 프리미엄 오디오 브랜드인 맥킨토시의 사운드 시스템은 총 19개의 스피커와 950W의 출력을 자랑합니다. 특히 이 맥킨토시 브랜드는 스피커 사운드 시스템에 잘 알고 계시는 고객분들은 얼마나 높은 하이엔드급의 시스템인지 충분히 만족하실 부분이고요. 또 아까 크리스님께서 설명했듯이 가정에서 즐기는 그런 풍부한 감성을 차 내에서도 즐길 수 있게끔 별도의 스페셜한 튜닝이 가미되었습니다. 자, 세 번째 강점은 바로 퍼포먼스입니다. 그랜드 체로키는 그 두 가지의 파워트레인을 제공하고 있는데요. 첫 번째 3.6리터 펜타스타 엔진은 대배기량 자연흡기 엔진의 특징인 부드럽고 여유 있는 주행 질감을 선사합니다. 그리고 4x2 모델에는 2리터 가솔린 엔진이 장착이 되는데요. 이는 터보와 그리고 하이브리드 시스템과 함께 경쾌하면서도 강력한 퍼포먼스를 발휘합니다. 현재 앞에 보이시는 수치는 가솔린 엔진의 순수 출력이고요. 하이브리드 시스템과 합쳐진 총 시스템 마력은 300마력 후반대를 기록하고 있습니다. 자, 특히 또 네 번째 특징은 4x2 모델의 배터리입니다. 4x2 모델에는 총 15kWh 배터리가 탑재되어 최대 33km까지 전기로만 주행이 가능하게 설계되었습니다. 따라서 평상시 도심 주행에서는 전기 주행으로 효율성을 극대화할 수 있고 또 상황에 따라 강력한 순간 토크를 필요로 하는 오프로드 환경에서도 그 큰 장점을 선보이고 있습니다. 자, 다섯 번째는 우리 지프의 가장 큰 장점인 오프로드 주행 성능입니다. 고급스럽고 부드러운 차량의 인상과는 다르게 강력한 오프로드 주행 성능을 제공하고 있는데요. 특히 서밋 모델에는 후륜에 전자식 LSD가 적용되어 독보적이면서도 특히 오프로드의 다이나믹한 주행성을 자랑하고 있습니다. 그리고 마지막으로 이번 그랜드 체로키 시리즈에는 지프 최초로 커넥티드 서비스가 제공되는데요. 그동안 커넥티드 서비스는 국내 제조사 및 일부 프리미엄 브랜드에서만 제공되었습니다. 이제는 그 프리미엄급 커넥티드 서비스가 지프에서도 활용할 수 있게 되었습니다. 자, 마지막으로 지프 커넥트만의 특화된 기능입니다. 여러 가지 기능들이 있지만 저는 이 중 스마트워치 연동 기능은 매우 재미있다라고 생각이 듭니다. 이는 마치 시계를 보는 것과 같이 손쉽게 차량의 다양한 기능을 작동하고 또 상태를 확인함으로써 고객님이 본인 차에 대한 매우 진보적인 기능을 손목의 시계를 이용하면서 사용할 수 있다는 게 큰 장점이 아닐까 싶습니다. 이는 마치 어렸을 때 저희가 TV에서 본 그것과 매우 닮았는데요. 아까 빌리께서도 PT에서 말씀하셨듯이 우리는 나미가, 즉 패밀리, 우리는 전부 다 패밀리적으로 연결이 되어 있습니다. 그와 더불어 또 오너와 차량이 또 연결됨으로써 정말 지프만의 문화와 함께 독보적인 기술력을 함께 맛볼 수 있는 그러한 지프만의 특징이 아닐까 싶습니다. 자, 지금까지 그랜드 체로키와 4x 모델의 다양한 특징을 설명드렸습니다. 경청해 주셔서 감사합니다.
잠시 안내 말씀드리겠습니다. 지금부터 준비된 식사가 제공될 예정입니다.
Won't you set me free?
2022년 11월, 2열, 3열, 4x2까지 가장 위대한 라인업의 완성.
All new Grand Cherokee.